Hello, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here today. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about Klim. We are about transitioning the food and agriculture system towards regenerative agriculture. We do that by helping farmers adopt regenerative agricultural practices at speed and at scale, and by helping food companies transition their supply chains. We do all that amidst probably the most severe crisis in food and ag since the Green Revolution. We're seeing ever more frequent climate change-induced events threatening harvests. At the same time, a growing population needs to be fed. We see rising prices and stricter regulation making the lives of farmers ever more difficult. The solution to address all those problems lies in our soils. The soil is responsible for 95% of all food produced on the planet. However, unfortunately, it has lost much of its fertility over the past 100 years. A good measure for soil fertility is soil organic carbon. And of soil organic carbon, we have lost 50% since the onset of modern agriculture, tendency further decreasing. The problem with losing soil organic carbon is that you emit large amounts of CO2 into the atmosphere, but for the food industry, equally important or even more important, you threaten your harvests. You have more and more volatile crop harvests and rising prices, which directly threatens your P&L as a food company. The only solution is regenerative agriculture. The main purpose of regenerative agriculture is to restore soil health. And as a consequence of restoring soil health, I am generating a broad range of benefits, including, for example, capturing and storing large amounts of CO2, improving biodiversity, but also through improvement of water retention rates in the soil, I can stabilize crop yields and stabilize prices. And this is the reason why food companies across the planet are currently racing to transition their supply chains towards regenerative agriculture. One of our clients, Nestlé, for example, made the commitment to transition 50% of their supply chain to Regen Ag in 6 years. This is a massive undertaking. McCain, US potato-related manufacturer, transitions 100% of their supply chain. So you can see this is a completely different game than the organic movement, where we were talking about maybe 10, 20% over 30 years. Walmart, 50 million hectares. And the reason they want to do that is not so much because they fear regulatory pressure or consumer demand. It's precisely because they fear for their future. If you go to agricultural conferences these days, you will hear a lot of chief procurement officers say, if we do not transition fast enough, we'll be out of business in 5 years. In fact, companies such as McCain says that out of 7 potato harvests, they now have to consider 2 as losses. The problem is, they can't achieve their ambitious transition targets. And this is because there are several barriers to transition. On the farmer side, farmers typically lack the know-how to transition and the financial support. And on the food company side, they don't have direct access to their farmers. And in the case they wouldn't know what to tell them because Regen Ag is highly context sensitive. This is where Klim comes in. Our mission is to transition supply chains. We do that by positioning Klim in the center of the newly emerging Regen Ag ecosystem. We are enabling farmers to transition to Regen Ag with a digital platform that offers them know-how, agronomist-level advice in a scalable format, and also a way to quantify the carbon removed or reduced. And we then sell to food companies as insetting supply chain transformation projects. We also do offsetting, but 90% of our contracted revenue of now almost 30 million comes from the food industry. The key to our success is a vertically integrated offering, a vertically integrated platform, which offers food companies everything from onboarding the farmers at speed and at scale, and arguably the hardest part in the whole journey, converting the farmers in the first place, because if you don't convert, you have no delta to measure and no improvement. Then, of course, the MRV, monitoring, reporting, verification part, which we do in a certified way using the standard approach of a hybrid model, using different data sources, primary, satellite-based remote sensing, soil samples feeding into agricultural process-based models, and then reporting. The key to our success is farmer centricity. From the very beginning, we have decided to involve farmers in the development of our product. From 2019 onwards, they were part of every product discovery journey, and they're actively designing the product with us. And this is reflected in the amazing feedback scores we have amongst the farmers. We have an App Store rating of 4.9 out of 5. Farmers that are coming outside of food supply chains, almost a third of them coming from referrals, and we have immensely high trust scores. This is because we truly care about the well-being of the farmers. We, for example, enable them to transition as much as they want. They can choose from a broad catalog of measures, and we really take their well-being seriously. And as a consequence of this farmer centricity, we are extremely successful with corporates. The main reasons corporates work with us are amongst the fact that we have a vertically integrated offering, which means they don't have to work with 5 different project developers at the same time, that we have a scalable offering that can scale across supply chains and across regions, and the high scores of trust we enjoy amongst farmers. This has enabled us to grow our secured contract revenue super fast in the past months. We hit product market fit and are now the European leader in insetting, supply chain transformation, and we will achieve by the end of 2025 400 million signed contract volume. Underpinning all this, of course, is the related growth in hectares. And here we have seen the same extremely fast growth of hectares under management and hectares in conversion, which is only possible at good unit economics, of course, if you have a product that farmers love, that farmers refer, and if you're doing it as a company that farmers trust deeply. That's why farmers actively convert and transition their supply chains. And that's also the reason why food companies work with us, whether it's big CPGs such as Nestle or big retailers such as Edeka or Kaufland in Germany. They are so happy with what we do that they are referring us to other food companies, and we're now actually experiencing a network effect of referrals from food companies, which grows our revenue even faster. Of course, behind Klim, there's a bigger vision still. We will be able to, in the future, offer digital agronomist level advice to the farmers specific to regenerative agriculture, which is a form of agriculture that cries out for digital decision support. We also signed a strategic partnership with one of the largest banks in the world in the last month to develop joint financial products for farmers to speed up and accelerate the regenerative transition. And this way we can achieve our mission to scale up regenerative agriculture as quickly as possible and do it in a way that really takes the farmer's interests first. So if you're interested to learn more about Klim, just let me know. You can send me an email at robert@klim.eco or talk to me afterwards. Thank you very much for your attention.